What's up? Juno here. I recently got a PM from somebody who is not a subscriber of mine, but saw a couple of videos that I made from a long time ago, and they happen to be uploaded to this channel as well. And it had to deal with scams, and multi-level marketing scams in particular, or otherwise known as pyramid schemes. And this person was talking about how someone scammed them out of some product or something, and I'm not surprised, judging by what people that get involved with these sort of things that are just less than legitimate, or there's a lot of shady shit and it's just a lot of bullshit that surrounds them. And then I had an idea. Now, I have known people, I've had friends that have joined these things briefly just to find out that they're full of shit. But I had an idea that crossed my mind, and that was maybe trying to see if I could get in and attend a meeting of one of these companies that sells some bullshit scam multi-level marketing thing. Now, I have actually had a business pitch for a travel website that they hyped up, but the thing is the entire, or for most of the pitch, they briefly mentioned at the beginning that this is a travel website, but that was pretty much the end of it. They continued on talking about how this was a business opportunity, and they wanted something like $500 for the website, and then you had to buy these stupid magazines to give to people to try and get them to sign on. I instantly, and the thing that gave it away, or that sealed the deal, I already knew it was a scam when they started presenting, but the best part about it was they showed a graph of earning potential, and it was a fucking, literally a pyramid. How is that not? I even told my coworker who was getting sucked into it, I said, this is a pyramid scam. This is not a legitimate business by any means like what we're doing here at our job. So, I mean, shit, the guy who was even presenting the presentation to us didn't even know how to work his fucking laptop. I had to show him how to use it. Never used that computer ever in my life, and I had to show him how to adjust the brightness, how to turn up the volume. I mean, basic shit here. Basic shit. Not hard stuff. He didn't even know how to run PowerPoint simply with the shortcuts and stuff like that. He didn't know that you could tap on the mouse to advance the next slide anyway. It was just ridiculous. How are you going to try and get people to join your scam if you don't know how to run your own equipment? And that's the thing. It's all based around getting people under you. You are never going to earn what they claim. You aren't. The only people that are the people at the very top. They're the only people that are going to earn any amount of money, especially to live on. That's what it's going to happen. And there's a ton of these scams out there. I know I see people driving around with Mona V things on their car, the Zango thing, what else is there? There's Cutco or Vector Marketing. There's the travel ones, Rovia, Dream Trips, World Ventures, Traveris, all these bullshit companies. And I just don't get it. And upon this idea popping in my head, I instantly decided to start looking for videos for this. And I may even start up a whole new series based on scams. You know, as of late, it seems like a lot of the religious stuff on YouTube has kind of gotten to a point where it's just people going after other people for stupid shit and a lot of bickering. And I want to stay out of that type of crap. And I may focus more on scams and other things like that. But what I want to know is, has any one of my subscribers momentarily looked into one of these things? Even if you didn't know it was a scam initially, have you been to one of these meetings or conferences or anything like that? Hell, have you even been a part of it? How was it? How did they suck you in? How were you convinced of it? I would like to know some insight if anyone has ever been a part of one of these things. That would be really interesting, because I think just for shits and giggles, when I have some time off, if they're having like a big meeting somewhere, or if there's, you know, something like that to get potential new clients. I mean, I'm not going to pay for anything, and I want to try and get as much information as possible without giving as much information from my personal details to them, because I don't want to be bugged by this. I'm set in my career. I don't need some bullshit scam. but I just wanted to get some, I think it would be fun to get some insight into this, or to just go and maybe pick the brain of one of these people. You see, the thing that I don't get, well, also what I saw in my searching on YouTube was all of these idiots. Out of all the videos I watched, I've watched probably just this, at the time of filming this, just this night alone, I've probably seen about a dozen videos, and only one out of the about dozen I've watched the person has taken a step back and said, this is a scam. What is with these people? How do you not see this? How jaded can you be? And this is kind of like how religious people are in a way. They are so convinced of what's been presented to them by some charismatic individual that they're willing to defend it to all ends. What is the fucking deal here? You aren't going to make money on this. Now, I can see how it could be appealing for someone who maybe doesn't have an education and doesn't have the skill that they can do professional things to make a decent living. I can see why that would be appealing, but honestly, easy money is bullshit. You can't expect to just earn money through an algorithm, like through search engine shit, or you can't just expect this thing. And what really pisses me off is the whole idea behind this is you're supposed to get friends and family. Friends and family aren't supposed to be customers here. They're your friends and family. You're not supposed to be making money off of them. If you are a true friend, you will be friends with this person for whatever. And if you're looking at everyone as a potential client, I mean, look, even in business, there are things that you can do in terms of deals with friends. With this, like especially the travel websites or the other products, you can't work on deals at all, hardly. Everything is set, all the shit is overpriced. And what's interesting a lot is like a lot of these ones for these like juice drinks, like the Zango is like some sort of mango, some derivative or whatever, and on their website they claim a bunch of different things that this is great, but they've had an issue with the FDA. I mean, they made these claims, and the FDA issued a warning saying that no, they don't have the science to back this shit up. And there's also the other one, the Mona V, I think is an acai berry or some bullshit. And the same thing happened. The FDA issued a warning saying, you know, they're claiming all this stuff with this drink, and it doesn't do anything. I think it would be interesting to get into the heads of someone who represents a company like this, or just to ask them some questions. If I see someone, I see people with the vinyl stickers on their car all around. If I ever see one in a parking lot or see someone that's getting out of their car or walking to their car, I'm going to stop them and pick their brain for a while to see what if they want to talk, just to get an insight. Or, like, where would I go to search this type of shit to see if there's a meeting? I mean, I don't want to, it seems like every single website you go to, they're asking for your first and last name and your address and all this shit, and I don't want to give that shit out. I mean, I have no problems giving out fake information, but if they're going to check IDs or some shit, I don't want to give out fake information, but whatever. I mean, what can they do? I'm not going to be a part of their business. It's not something I want to do, scam people out of my money. And what really gets me is that these people who are in favor of these websites or that participate in these companies that sell these shit products, you got to think, why are you focusing so much on getting other people under you? I mean, well, I know why, is because that's how you supposedly earn money. But doesn't it seem a little suspicious that you're in a sales position and you're not really talking about your product? You're talking about getting more people under you? I mean, I worked in sales for about 4 years, and I wasn't trying to recruit people to work under me. I was focusing on selling product. That was my job, selling product, not getting people to work under me. Well, firstly, we were a very small company, and secondly, that's just retarded. You're supposed to sell products if you're in sales. I mean, look, could be a PR type thing, but I mean, aren't these companies fronts for some products? Why are you only briefing and explaining and going into detail about how to get other people there? Well, I know why. It's because that's how you make your money, by people buying the fucking memberships. There's the product. Who cares? That's just like, a front. If there's some shady stuff, there might be a front business to cover up the shadiness going on behind the scenes. It's exactly what it is. The originators of the idea make the money off the gullible sheeple that don't do their research and don't see, and they're fucking brainwashed. It's insane. How can you be so retarded and believe this shit? Do your fucking research and you'll see that the potential for this shit is nuts. And where are you on the food chain? Do you think you're the first person that's been approached? I mean, I did a simple search on Craigslist in my area, and there were some that say, you know, startup or the company's about to launch. I saw, like, out of the probably roughly 8 ads that popped up, 3 of them said they were a brand new company starting up. And potential for, you know, high-level whatevers. I highly doubt that shit. I think it might just be another branch of some other bullshit company going under another name. I mean, a lot of these companies have multiple names to, I guess, you know, throw you off the trail that it's just a fucking scam. And I also looked up a few of them in the Better Business Bureau, and I was surprised seeing an A- ratings for a couple of them, because I know that they're scams and they have A ratings. That just seems a little suspicious to me. And the way they get around, you know, having to claim about certain things is they claim everyone's an independent contractor. You know, if you're going to be marketing a product and stuff like that, you're not typically an independent contractor. You work for a company, but they do it to get around, you know, certain tax things and shit like that. I mean, in my professional work, I'm an independent contractor, but the type of work I do is legitimate for legitimate companies. It's a completely different medium. It's not sales, but it's completely legitimate. This gives the name independent contractor a bad one, because these people are shills for bullshit product. Me, on the other hand, I actually produce results. It's not bullshit product. I stand by my work. These people can't. They're fly-by-night, and it seems like the people who are convinced by this shit, you know, they say people that fail at this, they're just not committed enough. Bullshit. If you can't market a product, or if people know, I mean, we live in an information age. Maybe that's why. I mean, it seems like they intentionally flood titles of videos and stuff with a competitor's business and bring it up as scam, and then they promote another one. They're all the same. They're all the same. It happened when I looked up Dream Trips, World Ventures, Traveris, Zango, Mona V, all of them. They all bitch out each other. It's like they're gangs or some shit. I mean, in a way. But what do you think? Do you think this experiment will be something interesting and fulfilling, or do you think it's something stupid and I should be not wasting my time with it? I think it could be something interesting, and I would report back, of course, and maybe even figure out a way to record on site if there was an interview or talking to somebody. I mean, I do have a recording device that I could probably rig to pick up what goes on. We'll just have to see if it happens or not. I would love to just see and maybe set them straight. But who knows? It's very ballsy to go into a sales store or a store that's selling a product and try and get them away for some bullshit, that's for sure. And the reason why this person came in and presented this thing when I was working in sales was because they used to work for one of our master agents. And I guess they got fired or quit to join a fucking scam company. Then again, that master agent was kind of a scam company too. They didn't want to pay us when we were meeting our activation quotas, which was pretty ridiculous. But, oh well. That's, I mean, I couldn't give 2 shits. I'm done working there. I've been done working there for close to 3 years now. Hell, the business isn't even around anymore, so I don't give a shit. But anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments or a video response, especially if you're in the United States and you have any experience with this type of shit. If you've been to any of the meetings, if you were briefly a part of it, hell, even if you're still a part of it, if I've offended you by what I've said about some of these companies, let me know. I would love to hear about it. And I would love to hear you try and rationalize why these companies are not scams. Because as far as I've seen in terms of research from legitimate sources, it seems like they're quite a bit fishy and not very legitimate. What legitimate company makes you pay exorbitant amounts of money to start up? I've never worked for a job where I've had to pay them for me to start. Never. I know there are certain fees associated with uniforms and stuff like that, but, I mean, to start up, give me a break. Anyway, do your part. Blaspheme daily.